a scholar here at Robert F. Smith STEAM Academy. My son, Jesse Matthews, is also the class president, and I am here today as a parent volunteer for the Black History program that they are putting on today. It's its first because it's its first for the school opening. I am very proud of Robert F. Smith for doing this type of recognition for Black History Month.
नमस्ते, हामी यो स्ट्रिम एकाडेमीमा छौँ आज। म एसबी माइजर। हामीले ब्ल्याक हिस्ट्री मन्थ मनाइरहेका छौँ। यहाँलाई पनि यो रात्रि स्वागत छ। नमस्ते, I'm एसबी माइजर. We are at Stream Academy tonight to celebrate the Black History Month. Everyone is welcomed. Thank you.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun, let us march on till victory is won. Thank you. You may be seated. The founding principal of Robert F. Smith STEAM Academy, good evening, and welcome to our celebration of Black history. Carter G. Woodson, the second Black man to earn a PhD from Harvard University and member of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, a historically Black fraternity founded in 1911, founded the Association of the Study of Negro Literature and History, which established Negro History Week. February was selected because it was the month that contained the birthdays of Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass. In 1976, on Negro History Week's 50th anniversary celebration, Black History became a month-long observance. Black History Month is one of the nation's oldest celebrations of history. At a school where we strive to center the lived experiences of our scholars year-round, this month, and those who are part of its evolution are trailblazers who have impacted our school's history. So while today brings the end of Black History Month and the dawn of Women's History Month, it only makes sense that we celebrate. Celebrate is a verb that means to acknowledge a significant event with a social gathering. And here we are. I would like to thank everyone who contributed to the event, volunteering your time and energy to organize and set up, and to those who will stay to help clean up and prepare this space for tomorrow. I'd like to acknowledge those who are present with us tonight. First, Boney's Barbecue for providing the food this evening and almost doubling the order after overwhelming positive response. Members of DPS Central Office staff, regional support team, thank you for your presence tonight and your support of this school and our important work. MCO and communications team for your help in organizing this event and being sure that we have a memory long after this event is over. Our school founders, the Lindsays and the Pryors, for being here. Our school's administrative team, Ms. Mitchell, our assistant principal, and Mr. Riley, our dean of culture. Yay. Our educators, all staff members, if you're here, if you could just wave so we can recognize you. Thank you for the work you do every single day. Our program partners, so if you are a sponsor of an enrichment program, if you could just wave your hand so we can recognize you. And our program partners are not, well, okay, yeah, they are, they're waving their hands. Our founding families and our guests of honor, the founding class of 2025. I have a final special thank you to offer, and this is to Miss Natalie Aceves. She hears every one of my big ideas and then asks what she can do to help, and offers strategic support to everything we do as a school, from our social media to registration to paying attention to the details. This work would not be the same without you, so thank you. Our school community has several native tongues. Throughout this evening's program, there will be interpretation, so we ask all speakers to do so slowly to ensure the message is translated into each language. Tonight, you will hear from our scholars, their voices, their view of Black history, their history, and learning from all perspectives. Our role is to listen. I'm asking you to hear them. Hear the heart behind what they're saying. Hear their voice without trying to make it yours, someone else's, or sound a certain way. Our responsibility is to listen. Our scholars and our children must practice using their voices to express themselves and share when something is wrong or unjust. Who else will make the changes if we don't give them the opportunities to learn, do, and grow? This is the spirit with which our school was created. It is the intention behind all the opportunities we offer our scholars to lead. So tonight, I invite you to become curious about what they see and how we can make it better. Tonight, history will speak, and our historians are the change agents of the next generation. Thank you for joining us, and now I'd like to invite Alexis Weddington.
Hi, my name is Alexis Weddington, and I am a 9th grade scholar at Robert F. Smith STEAM Academy. And I'm here today to tell you who inspires me and why. Maurice Pierce inspires me because not only is he my uncle, he never gave up on his dreams, pushed himself to his limits, and did what he needed to do to succeed. Another person who inspires me is my mom. She works her hardest no matter how tired she is or how many hours she's worked. She's taught me that life is like riding a bull. When life gets hard, never give up. You may fall off, but get back on and keep going. She has also taught me that nothing in life will be handed to you, and you need to work for what you want. These people inspire me because they push me to my limits and help me realize that if you have goals and if you want to get somewhere in life, you better work for what you want and make a good name for yourself.
Buenas tardes, me llamo Martín Alarcón, soy un erudito del grado 9 en Robert F. Smith STEAM Academy. Yo creo que aprendiendo de la historia que es inclusiva es importante porque me ayuda a entender el presente. Por ejemplo, en esta clase he aprendido cómo los latinos se conectan con otras culturas, como la europea, Medio Oriente y también con África. Una clase de historia inclusiva beneficia a todos los estudiantes porque los ayuda a entender mejor dónde vienen y dónde estaban sus antepasados.
My name is Martin Alcon, and I'm a student in ninth grade in Robert F. Smith STEAM Academy. And I learned about the history and the importance of understanding this significant past and present things. For example, in my class, I learned about how Latin Americans connect with other cultures, are connected with other cultures such as those of Europe, the Middle East, and also Africa, through a curriculum of history that's exclusive and benefits other students because it helps me understand better where I'm coming from and where I'm going or where my ancestors came from. Thank you.
Mi nombre es Miguel Galindo Hernández. Soy un estudiante de grado 9 en Robert Smith STEAM Academy. Yo pienso que la historia inclusiva es muy importante porque podemos saber las cosas malas y buenas que hicieron las personas antes de nosotros. Si escuchamos todas las partes de la historia, eso me ayudó a entender las intenciones de los humanos y las características de las personas. También podemos saber las culturas de antes y nuestros antepasados. Todo esto me ayuda a entender mejor a aquellos que son diferentes a mí y ser más empático con las personas a mi alrededor.
My name is Miguel Galindo Hernandez, and I'm a scholar in ninth grade at Robert Smith STEAM Academy. I think that the inclusive history is very important because it allows us to learn the good and bad things that our forefathers did, and also to listen to each side of history. It also helps me to understand the intentions of those people and their characteristics. We can also learn about the cultures of those previous people, of our forefathers. And that also helps me understand their differences and also be more empathetic with those people around me.
My name is Elias Price, and I'm a ninth grade scholar at Robert R. Smith STEAM Academy. I'm here to tell you about 4 black inventors that made life easier for everyone. Garrett Morgan, who invented the traffic lights in 1920, made it easier for everyone around to be. Alexander Miles, in 1887, he took out a patent for a mechanism that automatically opens and closes elevator shaft doors, and his designs are largely reflected in elevators used today. James E. West, who created the microphone. 2 years after it was invented, the final model of the microphone was developed, and in 1964, they were patented the landmark invention. Only 4 years later, the new microphone was in wide production and was being used in hearing aids, tape recorders, and most telephones and baby monitors. Leda Newman. Leda Newman was a remarkable black female inventor who patented the first hairbrush with synthetic bristles. She is the 3rd black woman to ever receive a patent. She is also known for her activism in the women's voting rights movement of the early 20th century.
Hi, my name is Hariana Jackson. I am a 9th grade scholar at Robert S. Smith STEAM Academy. An influencer that I look up to in history is a woman named Shirley Kiswell. I'm probably saying her name wrong, but if you know her, you do. She gives so much to history as a politician and a presidential candidate living from 1924 to 2005. I look up to Miss Shirley because she embodies all the PACT standards that we hold at this school. She embodies perform like a leader and a global citizen trait just by being herself. She holds a strong female lead in history, and she advocates for others' rights and speaks up for ones who couldn't. She cares for the well-being of others, and that makes her a global citizen, as she thinks like a CEO by staying with her goals and striving to make a change in the world. She was the first African American to seek a nomination for the president in a major political party. She fought for racial and gender equality and advocate for the poor, and all these traits I love and look up to most, and this is why I chose her as my Black History leader.
Hola, buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Javier Gutiérrez y soy un estudiante de grado 9 en Robert S. Smith STEAM Academy. Es importante aprender sobre la historia, cultura e inclusión, porque debemos que tratar y respetar a los demás. a pesar de nuestras diferencias. Nuestras diferencias deben celebrarse porque cada cultura y persona tiene habilidades con las que puede contribuir y de las que podemos aprender. Si queremos un futuro mejor, tenemos que reconocer cuando no hemos apoyado en el pasado y actuar para hacerlo de manera diferente ahora.
Hi, my name is Javier Gutierrez, him, not me. And I'm a ninth grade scholar at Robert Smith STEAM Academy. And it's important to understand our history of inclusion because it helps us treat and respect others despite our differences. We should also celebrate our cultural differences because each culture and person has different abilities that we can be able to contribute and help us learn. If we want a better future, we have to be able to recognize and support so that we can be able to function better and do things better now.
My name is Ella Ryan, a ninth grader at scholar at Robert S. Smith STEAM Academy. I entered the writing contest. The piece I've written is called An Understanding of the Past. Black History Month to me is screaming, look at me. Look at all I've done, all I've achieved, and don't you dare look away. Black History Month is seeing all that has happened because one black person had an idea they didn't know was going to change the world. We get to remove the veil that has covered our eyes and gasp in awe in all that has happened because of black people. It makes me feel less small. It shows me that I'm never going to be too ambitious with my dreams. Gives me hope for what's ahead of me and the people around me. Black History Month to me is being able to see my past and knowing that I can help the future.
My name is Steve Griffin. I'm a ninth grade scholar at Robert F. Smith STEAM Academy. Now I'm here to talk about somebody who inspires me. Carter G. Woodson is somebody that inspires me because he's the reason why we celebrate Black History Month. And he's the first black person to promote and educate students on Black history.
Hi, my name is Kennedy Kenyatta. I am a student at Robert S. Smith STEAM Academy, class of 2025. A person who inspires me is my mom, Candace Kenyatta. And can you please stand out to the crowd and wave? My mom inspires me because she influences me to always be a go-getter and to always achieve my goals. My mom is very strong and a willed woman who will always fight for herself. She was never the type to give up. She always had to prove herself since she was a woman and black. Two amazing gifts that she was competent to. She never let that stop her from giving up her dreams and hopes to become the person that she is today. I know my mom had regrets in her life and things she could have done differently. But honestly, I think it's a good thing we go through these obstacles in life because they make us a stronger person and it teaches us to get out these situations like those because we already experienced it. We're all like flowers. I know this sounds crazy, but hear me out. You know, in order for a plant to grow, it needs water and sunlight, right? But as plants, if we can't learn from our mistakes and just adjust to it, then we won't grow as a person and stay as a seed who hasn't bloomed yet. I think what a lot of people fear is change because they might get judged or mistreated. But change for you. You weren't put in this world to be like everyone else. I say this again. Change for you. If you can't do it for anyone else, do it for you. Prioritize in you. Ooh, I did good.
Buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Valeria Rodríguez. Soy un erudita de grado 9 en Robert F. Smith STEAM Academy. Para mí, la historia inclusiva es de suma importancia porque aprendo sobre las perspectivas de otras personas y su cultura. Y aprendo por lo que pasaron muchas personas que fueron líderes en su generación para lograr el gran impacto que tuvieron en la sociedad. Puedo aprender sobre su cultura a través de la historia y sus perspectivas. Además, he aprendido aún más sobre mi cultura y me ayuda a saber de dónde soy. Aprendo aún más de mis tradiciones a través de la historia que no sabían que existan. Reconozco las pinturas que hacen algunas de estas personas historias y nunca supe que la gente en mi país también hiciera algunas de las pinturas más famosas.
My name is Valeria Rodriguez, and I am a scholar in ninth grade at Robert F. Smith STEAM Academy. For me, inclusive history is very important because we learn about perspectives of other people and cultures. We learn about what happened to many other people and the leaders in their generations who had an impact on society. We can learn about culture through history and its perspective. And on top of that, I learned about my own culture and helped me learn where I'm from. I learned more about my traditions through history that I did not know existed. And I recognize paintings that were done by historical figures that I never knew that these people were from my country and had done these famous paintings.
Mi nombre es Ever Freire Verdugo, soy un erudito de grado 9 en Robert F. Smith STEAM Academy. Para mí la historia inclusiva es de suma importancia porque aprendes nuevos conocimientos de otras personas de esa historia y también puedes sentir las emociones o problemas que pasaron en su vida de antes. Yo pienso que la historia inclusiva es muy importante porque la educación inclusiva se ocupa de aportar respuestas apropiadas a todas las series de necesidades educativas en contextos pedagógicos, escolares y extraescolares. Yo creo que aprender la historia es inclusivo porque hace que las personas estén mejor preparadas para encontrar soluciones duraderas para problemas globales complejos porque puedes comprender lo que la otra persona está pasando. Los conocimientos que yo he aprendido en esta escuela son que diferentes personas han sufrido en diferentes ocasiones como esclavos o también que han vivido en guerras feas en sus vidas y cómo tenían que luchar para salvar su país. Y eso me hace pensar diferente de otras personas. Gracias.
My name is Ever Freire Verdugo, and I'm a ninth grade scholar at Robert F. Smith STEAM Academy. For me, inclusive history is very important because we learn about the different perspectives that other people had in their history, and also because it helps us feel the emotion and problems that happened in their lives. The inclusive history is very important because it helps us to have an inclusive education and be able to take those answers and apply them in appropriate necessities in education and in the contents in scholarly and extra-scholarly and extracurricular activities. I think that learning about inclusive history is important because people learn to be better prepared to find long-lasting solutions to complicated global problems, because then you can understand what other people are going through. This knowledge has helped me learn. In this knowledge I've learned here at school has helped me to understand what different people had to suffer through on different times of their lives, like the slaves that had to live in very ugly wars and in their lives that they also struggled to be able to save their countries. And that also makes me think about how what other different people had to go through.
My name is Jesse, a ninth grade scholar at Robert S. Smith STEAM Academy. I entered the writing contest. The piece I've written is called 28 Days. The fact that they think they can confine our history into 1 month, 28 days, 672 hours, 40,320 minutes is crazy. 403 years of built-up oppression suppressed into 1 month is a problem. We had and we have to continue to fight for our history to be learned in our school systems. Day after day, our children aren't seeing anyone that looked like them in their history classes. They come to class every day of the year learning about people who they can't relate to. They learn about Thomas Edison and Edgar Allan Poe because the system is afraid to show that our people like Maya Angelou and George Washington Carver couldn't do what their white counterparts do. This is why Black history is so important to me. I, as a Black man, can see other Black men have accomplished things that 200 years ago would have been unheard of for a Black person. We've come so far, battled through so much, for them to try and trap our history into 28 days. To me, Black history is American history, and you can't write the story of this so-called great place of liberty and freedom without my people. 246 years of hard, dirty labor from my people to build this country from the ground up. Years after years of not knowing if you'd be beaten, raped, hung from a tree as an example for another niggers to see. My people weren't treated as people. They were treated less than animals. But because our history has been pressed into 28 days a year, black kids will go years without knowing the hard, gruesome truth of what their ancestors went through. Black history is more than this, though. It is also about celebrating our struggles and our successes. We have had some of the best scientists, mathematicians, judges, inventors, and so much more, but most of you don't know that because for so many years they have tried to suppress our history in 28 days. I bet you didn't know that Bill Gates wasn't the richest man in the world. Nope, it was a Black African king named Mansa Musa, but you probably didn't know that because we only get 28 days. Time and time again, our people and our history get pushed to the side. Our children are taught about Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks, but a Black child may never hear the name Madam C.J. Walker because we only get 28 days. You'll learn about the March on Washington, but not the Watts riots in LA because we only get 28 days. You'll learn about the Montgomery bus boycott, but not the harmful and lethal actions of the Ku Klux Klan because we only get 28 days. We have gone so long after overcoming so many obstacles as a community, and for 337 days every year, we are silenced. Over 403 years, and they think that they can keep us quiet because they give us 1 month for our 400 years of hard work and accomplishment in this country. Black history helps me learn about me. It helps me release an inner power that I have. It allows me to fully express myself. Black history should be taught 365 days out of the year because Black history is American history. And without the work of my ancestors, our country wouldn't be the way it is today. Black History Month to me is, oh, that's not me. Oh, I'm done, thank you.
This evening, we were able to spend time together, reflecting on all that's been accomplished, from innovation that shifts the lives of people in your community, to invention that changes the way we see and experience the world. Both show us what happens when we take a moment to live and love authentically. Some of us may never be on the news, and others may never be featured in a history book. But the lives we lead, when lives of substance, impact generations. And we are carried to different places all over the world in the hearts and actions of those who loved us, who saw us, who learned from us. Thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you for hearing the voices of our scholars. And thank you for participating in this celebration as a community, as an individual and collective family. You're invited to join us on Wednesday, March 23rd for our second enrichment exhibition night from 4 to 6 p.m. And if you don't already, please follow us on social media at Robert F. Smith STEAM Academy or visit robertfsmith.dpsk12.org. And before you leave tonight, please be sure to look at the art gallery creations by our very own scholars. Your presence tonight makes you a part of the pride. Thank you for being here. Good night. And if anyone wants more